Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Um, so I think um, we'll start with Eddie's s- introduction with satsang, but focus, as usual, will be on practicing satsang. So, Eddie.
Morning, everyone, and welcome to another weekend workshop. Uh, as Sanjeev mentioned, we will continue uh, learning the Satsang method that will help us achieve peace, light, and love. Part of that, an essential part of that, is learning meditation. In meditation, we calm our mind and begin to focus on a single thought. By doing so, that helps us increase our consciousness so that we achieve the ultimate state called nirvana. Also, during this time, we'll practice inner orientation, which is a satsang method where we meditate in silence as opposed to an outer satsang, which is something like chanting. These particular workshops are developed for group sessions. During group sessions, a practitioner can increase their concentration and also accelerate their progress along their personal path to spiritual enlightenment. Joy and happiness. Joy is the eternal desire of the soul. It is eternal. And again, it is something we achieve when we reach the highest consciousness, which we call nirvana. Happiness is just a glimpse of joy, and it's temporal. The agenda for today consists of 3 sections. There's the informative session, the practical session, and the interactive session. During the informative section, we receive a lecture or a learning about satsang, the founder, or some main topic. During the practice session, we learn how to meditate, we learn the method, and then we practice for a period of time. In the interactive session, uh, we allow question and answers, or there'll be a panel discussion. So our facilitator for today will introduce. He is the grandson of Guru Maharaj. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. Since coming to the United States, he has continually been innovative, and developed methods and ways to teach satsang to Western practitioners. He continues to do that today, as is evidenced by these online satsang. Currently, he travels throughout the United States and India, facilitating satsangs while conducting his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Please now join me in welcoming Brother Sanjeev Kumar.
So, I was actually listening to a meditation podcast yesterday, and uh, there was a discussion about, we are all made of stardust. And my daughter was also talking about it some time back. Um, and and this is just another way of saying that, you know, we are so integrally connected with the cosmic energy. And satsang is nothing but stepping back and connecting with the roots. Um, so another, example of how we're leading our lives and how we should, or where we have steered away from our natural state. Um, so the example was that some people were shown a video of, uh, you know, like a lot of violence, and that would create stress, and all the things that go along with it in terms of, you know, heart pumping and so on and so forth. So stress inducing activity. Um, and um, so after that, they kind of measured all the, uh, you know, uh, physiological aspects and, you know, how everyone is doing. And then half of the participants were shown um, urban cities, and the other half were shown nature videos, um, you know, like um, woods and beaches, and very calming and connecting with the nature. And what they found was that uh, the set of people who were watching the urban cities did not calm down as much and as quickly as the other set, which was watching the nature videos. So it's just another, experiment which we all feel that when we are with the nature, um, we feel calm, we feel connected, um, you know, and uh, that happens. We take vacations to kind of connect back to nature sometimes, um, and so instead of finding those things regularly in our lives, what we have done is completely the opposite. When we look at the urban settings, and they are not soothing, they're not calming, they're not, helping us to be in that state where we naturally want to be. So I feel that, it's the same thing with satsang and meditation. We naturally want to be with peace. We're searching for peace, but I think it's just that we have taken a wrong turn, and we're searching for peace where there is not. And I think the core of satsang is to, uh, instead of looking outwards, turn inwards and look for that peace within. Uh, that's one aspect. And the other thing is, what do we manifest? What do we connect with? What should we be thinking about when we meditate? And that is the stardust. That's the cosmic energy. That is, uh, we naturally want to be in the nature. We want to connect with this cosmic energy, um, and and that's where we want to be when we meditate. So I think let's just practice now, and then we'll discuss more about stardust and being in nature and being connected to this cosmic energy, which to me is just, slightly different aspects of the same thing. So I think the way this satsang sessions and the satsang is structured is, as Eddie was talking about, how do we achieve this peace, which is more lasting, more consistent, and how do we bring this cosmic energy or light in our lives? How do we connect with everything? And that connect with everything is a depiction of love. So the love, peace, and light, which is, connection uh, uh, with the cosmic energy, that gives us such a calming effect inside and out. So that's what we'll try to do now. Um, so, sit in a relaxed posture where we don't uh, move for some time, because every time we move, mind moves with it. Um, and eyes lightly closed for the same reason. And keep the spine straight if possible, and chin a little inwards for better posture. And think of this transcendental light in front of us that's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are getting completely immersed in this amazingly uplifting and energizing light. And when mind wanders away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that this light is in front of us, entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and that we are getting completely immersed in this light. Let's start now. So yeah, yesterday I was listening to a podcast, and you know, interestingly, it talked about like we are all made of stardust, and so I was just you know reading that planetary scientist and stardust expert Dr. Ashley King explains that it's totally 100% true. Nearly all elements in human body were made in a star, and many have come through several supernovas. Carl Sagan said, "We are made of star stuff." Um, his statement sums up the fact that the carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen atoms in our body, as well as some of the other heavy elements, were created in previous generation of stars over 4.5 billion years ago. Interesting. It's a very so you know, and I was kind of thinking in the context of you know why manifest cosmic energy, why manifest this um, source of energy, um, and why that is um, far more effective than you know picking up elements of that. So connect to the source, connect to what we are made up of. So I'll pause there. Eddie, Pant, Luz.
Uh, you triggered the discussion. Stardust is very interesting. Actually, if you think of, if you go in, it's a big ocean by itself because you go up to the subatomic level, etc., etc., and the so-called visible particles made up of invisible energies. So finally, what we stay as a human body or any object or any table, chair, they are made up of invisible items. So that is very kind of contradicting one. But finally, it comes from some kind of energy that manifests itself as a Maya. That's what the people say. That's what uh, the introduction of Maya comes into this picture. The invisible energy, how it is manifesting itself as objects that we see. It itself is a big illusion, or Maya, what they say. So is finally the summarizes to integrating back to the cosmic energy. That's what I could think of.
It's fascinating. And this generation nowadays, like younger people, they talk about these things like you know uh, more often than we do. So Shivangi, what do you think of that?
Namaste, Bhaiya ji.
Namaskar.
Um, it's a very powerful thought, and it's it just. I mean, I work in a lab, so like from my science mind, it's just like tells me about like reminds me of the theory of evolution, right? How it all came to be about. So yeah, I don't know how to connect that to spirituality. Like it's interesting to hear about it.
Yeah, interestingly, when Guru Maharaj talks about evolution, he talks about the pyramid that we talk about. And he says that our natural state is at the top of the pyramid. And uh, the way we are or where we got to was because the downward slide and the downward motion was stronger and faster than the upward one. And so we couldn't sustain ourselves there, and slipping and sliding happened. It would be interesting to hear from Eddie. 'Cause, I do remember him talking about, where we ought to be versus where we are.
Yeah, it's interesting because this concept of us coming from the dust is also in religious scriptures as well. I can specifically think of the book of Genesis, where it says that we all come from dust, and it's to dust that we shall return. So when we think of the cosmic dust, this is the situation here. Um, I mean, we are essentially made up of those three elements that you mentioned. That was mentioned: the carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. Right? And these elements come from the cosmic, and so we're all kind of from that same ocean, if you will, if we look at the cosmic as an ocean. Um, the interesting thing is that when we come to an understanding that, well, let me first say that when we're born into this world as children, we develop a strong sense of the I, right? Um, this ball is mine, and uh, that's mine, that bowl is mine, mine. So we develop this sense of I. It becomes very strong. As we get older, this I continues to be developed through the society that we live in, our environment, through our cultures, and our ego really adapts to the illusory thoughts that we obtain from this world of what is Maya. And so, as those illusory thoughts come up in our mind, our ego attaches to them, and we develop a stronger sense of the I. And the true education of unity never comes. So, the idea of us all rising from this ocean of dust or cosmic or full of dust never enters our minds. We never receive that education. We continue living in the I. And then what happened? So one day we decide that this obtaining material things to gratify our ego, to make us, to bolster us, to make us feel stronger because we believe that material things increases the power of our individual self, our I, our ego. So we obtain those things. When we come to an understanding that that's a failed thought, and we begin to seek out a true education, like through Satsang, is what we're doing today. We learned about unity and we start to practice it. We begin to, when we think of these concepts of unity, like the light and so forth, we begin to attract that positive energy to us. It makes us stronger and it makes us happier. And then we sort of realize that um, when we live in this world and we think about unity, um, this is our way out. And so we have to try to develop that sense of being in this state of unity or being in harmony or being in sympathetic vibration with the cosmic energy. When we do that, we experience this increase in inner energy. And that's how we know that we're connected at that point with this transcendental energy, which can then transform us. And so, when you speak of uh, the cosmic dust and that we all come from that sort of came to my mind, is that really is the concept of unity. And if we think this way in terms of constant remembrance throughout the day, it's only going to help us um, in our personal progress in satsang.
So, uh, so Julie, I think you have joined for the first time, but um, probably joined after we practiced meditation, I guess.
Yeah, this is my first time here. I didn't know what time zone you were in, so I came late. Maybe I should come next time so I know what to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, typically we practice satsang or meditate on light, and you know, focuses on just deeper meditation. But we, because we have to kind of transition into meditation and transition out, so we um, talk about what is satsang to start with, and then just interact on those concepts again. So today, for some reason, we were just talking about stardust, that we are all made of stardust, and how, when we meditate on uh, this transcendental energy or light, it is nothing but, you know, our source in so many ways. Um, so, yeah, we're just discussing that.
Cool.
So, have you meditated before? What kind of meditation have you done?
Yes, I'll meditate sometimes on my own.
And is it um, like breathing with music, or just
Usually with music, I'll focus on my third eye.
so do you understand what the third eye is? I'm just
Sort
curious.
of. You can explain it in more detail. It's like a focal point of our consciousness, is how I understand it.
In a way, yes. Yeah. And I think the what I realize is, through meditation we can progress to a point where this third eye opens up. And what that means is that things that we kind of get a glimpse of when we are in meditation, like higher consciousness, higher awareness, we get a glimpse of, because somehow that connection happens. But then as you progress through your meditation, uh, some people get to a point where this third eye actually opens up, and it's like when we open up our these two physical eyes, we see things, and it's pretty much the same way. You get to perceive and see so clearly about internal things and spiritual things, and it's almost like a uh, you know it's a hardwired state of our brain, which just perceives things very, very differently. um, my Guru Maharaj, who established satsang in 1930, one of his disciples I used to meet quite often when I was young, he said, people think that, opening up of the third eye is, is a phenomena, which it is, but uh, sometimes it's far more simpler than that. After meditation, or progressing through stages of consistent meditation, he gave a very simple example, that there was this person who used to live in his house. He used to behave and love everyone in the house so much, would do things for everyone in the house. But his, dealing with his neighbors was completely opposite, because the way he would connect with the family, with the people in the house, was one, but with everyone else was like, didn't feel that connection. So he, Panditji Maharaj, he used to say that it was, um, it was, when the third eye opens up, you start understanding how you are related to uh, other people, um, how you're related to nature, how you are integral to your environment. And then your giving, which was, kind of in a narrow circle, becomes far broader. And so, while, yeah, it's a phenomena, and it's maybe, Yuan, if you can bring up the pyramid again, maybe I can describe to Julie a little more about that pyramid. We talked about in some of our prior sessions about Upanishads, which were some scriptures written in ancient India. They talked about it's like the 5 steps to uh, the land of peace, or to uh, a constant state of higher consciousness. Maybe you on the next one would be better. I think this talks more about the Maslow's hierarchy, but it, yeah, if you can. So yeah, so basically, it talks about these. So on the top of this pyramid is where, the way there are 2 ways I can describe the top of the pyramid. One, I have seen people through satsang who achieved, um, you know, a state where love, light, and peace was filling them to a point where it became totally and absolutely infectious. So their peace was shared almost like effortlessly. The light within was like, the way I describe that is, there is a candle, a lit candle can actually enlighten the next one. So the light gets shared that way. And uh, and love. I think another very, very clearly distinguished or distinguishable characteristics of satsang is, like, from compared to other meditation methods, is the person who comes through stages of meditation through satsang also finds this love or the connection I was talking about. So specifically talking about the third eye is at the realm of knowledge, which is the 4th realm. So realm of the world is where most of us spend, most of our time. Realm of life is where you start asking yourself, you know, uh, what's the purpose of life? Why am I here? What am I doing? How do I get to higher consciousness and all that? Realm of mind is where meditation becomes the method to cross this, you know, uh, this realm. But when you get through meditation and other methods, if you get to the realm of knowledge, that is where the third eye actually opens up. So just to give the sense that, I would say most of the people stay in the realm of the world, don't care about this vertical accent upwards. And once you so satsang, or the way my grandfather set this up, you start in the realm of mind, you start meditating very deeply. It's very different from lots of other meditations. And when you start there, focus on you know, um, connecting with the cosmic energy, uh, you know, go deeper. And if you continue and make this consistent practice, that is when you get to the realm of knowledge, which is where, um, you know, the third eye opens up. It's like, um, it's your ability to see things that are, um, you know, like, what's my purpose, why am I here, and that feeling of joy that was up and down through the lower realms becomes a lot more consistent, a lot more potent. um, your inner voice, your ability to understand what's right, what's wrong, ability to see how you're connected with others, how you live with no judgment. You can, like, it's almost you become like an observer. I think of like a reporter who looks at things and can report neutrally. So that's how your state of mind becomes. Your um, intellect can see things very neutrally. Um, you can use reason and accept the truth. You become very forgiving. You become very giving overall. You can perceive abstract things. People fight about what is God and, you know, what's it, God, in my view, is the most abstract concept that you can come up with. So the ability to understand these abstract concepts becomes, you know, with this awareness and with this consciousness, becomes so much more clearer. But then, even after opening the third eye, there is one more step to go, and that's the realm of love, where um, that is where your sense of identity um, is dissolved. I think Eddie was talking about the I, the ego. Once you dissolve your ego into the bigger cosmic entity, then you become, you know, far more limitless than you are before. So that is where, you know, unconditional love, unconditional giving, all that becomes actually real. So just a 5 minute, you know. Um,
Thank you.
so yeah, it it. I mean, all I can say is people talk about the third eye a lot, but getting to that, um, in my view, takes a lot. It's absolutely and totally a non-trivial exercise, but can be achieved. And meditation, uh, if done right, take you there. Yeah. So Luz, you have been very quiet.
I just love listening to everyone. Everyone always has such very insightful, wise things to say. So I don't really. So
Actually, I sometimes feel like, especially after meditation, I don't feel like talking at all, and I feel, you know, it's so quiet, it's so nice, you're feeling so connected. Uh, Even words are like shattering that peace, you
Yes,
know.
intrusive. Yes. I mean, but yeah, I also was a little bit late. So I was trying to catch up with the topics that you had led off with, led meditation with. And so, but I think I have a good sense. And I guess the thoughts that are arising inside of me are, if we could all have a sense of connection with everything, every being, with the universe, this would be a better place. We're not there yet. We're still operating on a different level of disconnection, fracturedness, and it is maybe it's a process that we're going through. But you know, the goal, that beautiful thing that you were talking about knowing that we're made of dust, which, as Eddie pointed out, has been, you know, finds echoes in different religious traditions, and you know, there's this acknowledgement throughout history that's true, but somehow we've forgotten that. And if we could just remember that, like, we wouldn't have war, we wouldn't be in the terrible state we are in environmentally. You know, we would take care of our planet, we would take care of each other the way we take care of our family. Um, but it's an ongoing goal. So, and it's a beautiful goal.
No, and just realizing that, I mean, I used to, when I was very young, I used to watch Carl Sagan and his cosmic, the way he would describe the cosmos was just phenomenal, right? And they're saying that in one of the episodes, he said, yeah, we are actually made of star stuff. And some of the elements we have in our bodies, you know, were created 4.5 billion years ago. I mean, it just, just that statement is like so deep. But what I was talking about, like I was just listening to some podcast, and she was saying that uh, you know the way we are not connecting to nature by living in urban culture, that's not our natural state, and that is uh, you know also causing additional stress, and stress is becoming more common than anything else today, right? And she's saying, connect with connect with nature, and there was some examples given on you know studies and things like that, and I think so I usually, I think if I look at my grandfather's writing, he always connects it. He talks about a few things and then he connects it to satsang. So I also felt the same way. It's like, uh, it's satsang is nothing but going back to the roots, going back to your, you know, the cosmic existence and the roots and the source. And when you abstract it to a point where it's just energy, um, uh, just connecting to this energy is what our natural state is, and that is what the third eye is about. That is what our deeper meditations are about. Um, that just being in the natural state, you know, connecting to our, peaceful, higher consciousness is not something that we should, that is our natural state. Actually, I'll find some of his writings where he actually talks about like our natural state is at the top of the pyramid, not at the bottom. And that is where I think we have just um, somehow we have to readjust ourselves.
That's a beautiful point. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I think that's true. I agree with you. It's finding that natural state again.
Yeah, it's see, imagine like the way I have seen people on the top of the pyramid is like they are content, they are peaceful, they are unconditional giving and unconditional loving. All that is not something that they're trying to achieve. They are there. right? It's just that state which, and being there, when you are in that state, there is no sign of stress. There is like, sometimes I even say, like, there are some basic grounding principles. So at the top of the pyramid, you're uh, no comparisons, no competition, no unnecessary. You live the way you want to live, and you help people to live that way as well. So it's not competition. It is uh, you know uh, almost like collaboration, or just uh, helping people to be in a state where peace is natural, where love is natural, is um, love is like in such pure, and um, this whole a state of connection is what that love is all about. Like, higher consciousness, higher awareness is just, you know, um, i- is called higher because we're not there, and it feels like a distant goal. Um, but we got to realize that that's our natural state. That is what we are trying to achieve. We all want to be more peaceful, etc. So on that note, I think time to wrap up. So maybe Eddie, can you help me with that, or Pant, any final thoughts before Eddie wraps it up?
I was just 30 seconds I will take. I think there's a script called by name Soundarya Lagari, written by I think Adi Shankara.
Mm-hmm.
The very second verse, sloka, it says that universe is created by collecting dust particles. They call it as golden dust particles. They say. So what a coincidence, right? What you are talking about in scientific world, and this was written 1,000 years back by Adi Shankara.
Mm.
It is seconds. It was a great connect. I could. It's a good
Wow.
topic discussion today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fascinating. Just like imagining, the way uh, the way we ought to connect to nature, not just human beings, not just animals, but nature. We're part of that, integral part of that.
It's a good one.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Eddie, wrap up.
So we had mentioned that peace is our natural state, and joy is experienced while we're in that state. And this, of course, is the longing desire of the soul. So, in referring to the pyramid and the 5 steps, what we're doing there is basically purifying the sheaths that are blocking our vision to the top of the pyramid. And as we practice satsang, those sheaths become more pure and allow us to see basically the top of the pyramid. As that process happens, our particular energy centers, or what we call chakras, are increased in vibratory energy and become more active. And just in the natural process of performing the satsang that we do, ultimately our third eye will become open, and we'll have more knowledge and understanding of that particular intellectual realm. And so, by practicing this satsang, all things can be achieved, and ultimately we will experience our natural state of peace and joy.
And while you were talking about the third eye again, one thing that I just remembered was, in Gita, there is a description about sthit pragya, which is um, a very grounded, intellect. So grounded intellect, in my view, is a state where, your brain functions and capabilities get to a point where they are not any longer clouded by emotions and distracted by desires. And that is when your real dormant capabilities come into action. And that is basically the opening of the third eye. So on that note, really glad to be, to have you all here. And I really enjoyed this session, and we'll look forward to meeting you again soon. Namaskar.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Pant.
Have a good day, everyone.
Namaste, yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Namaskar, Onkar. Bye, Julie.
Have a
And
good
Lewis.
weekend. Namaste.
Namaste. And Onkar, Pant, Kip Singh Ji, Shivangi, Himanshu,